Ladies and gentlemen, in relationships, authenticity, trust, and respect form the core of any meaningful connection. Yet, there are times when one partner might not approach the relationship with sincerity. Instead of partnership and mutual growth, manipulation and self-interest take the lead. When a man is using a woman, there are unmistakable behaviors that will emerge. Emotional manipulation is one of the most insidious forms of control in a relationship, especially when a person is not acting in good faith. It's a tactic often used by those who seek to exploit the emotional vulnerability of others without regard for their feelings or well-being. When a man is using a woman, emotional manipulation becomes a core strategy to keep her emotionally tied to him, to maintain the power dynamic, and to ensure that he gets what he wants, often at her expense. A manipulative individual will typically start by subtly altering the emotional climate, creating confusion and doubt where there was once clarity. This can take many forms: guilt-tripping, gaslighting, passive-aggressive behavior, or making the woman feel responsible for his emotional state. For example, he might say something like, "I wouldn't be so upset if you just did this for me, or if you really loved me, you would understand why I'm acting this way." Statements like these are crafted to make her feel like it's her fault that things are going wrong, even if she's not the one causing the issue. At the heart of emotional manipulation is the exploitation of the woman's empathy and desire to be loved and validated. The manipulator knows that the woman wants to help, wants to make him happy, and wants the relationship to succeed. He capitalizes on this by using her caring nature against her. In these situations, it's easy for her to feel as though her efforts are never enough, creating a sense of insecurity that she may begin to internalize, believing that she is failing in some way, rather than recognizing that the real issue lies in the manipulation itself. Gaslighting is another powerful tactic in emotional manipulation. This involves the manipulator distorting or denying reality to make the woman doubt her own perceptions and memories. For example, he may say things like, "That never happened," or "You're imagining things," even when she clearly remembers an event or a conversation. Over time, this can erode her self-confidence and make her question her own worth, further reinforcing the manipulative power dynamic. Another form of emotional manipulation is the silent treatment or withdrawal of affection. When a man is using a woman, he may resort to this tactic to punish her, to make her feel abandoned or unwanted until she complies with his wishes. The sudden coldness and withdrawal of warmth can be deeply distressing, as it leaves her feeling rejected and isolated. And she may find herself walking on eggshells, constantly trying to figure out what she can do to restore the relationship to a sense of normalcy. This emotional roller coaster, where moments of closeness are followed by periods of emotional coldness, creates an unhealthy attachment that is hard to break. Over time, these manipulative tactics build a toxic pattern where the woman's emotional needs are consistently sidelined in favor of the manipulator's desires. This emotional tug of war can create a cycle where the woman feels responsible for fixing things or making everything better, even though the real responsibility lies with the person using her. This dynamic can eventually wear her down, leaving her emotionally drained, confused, and questioning whether she is worthy of healthy love and respect. It's important to recognize that emotional manipulation is not love. Love does not make you feel guilty, confused, or invalidated. Love does not thrive on control or power. If you ever find yourself in a situation where emotional manipulation is at play, it's vital to trust your instincts and seek clarity. Healthy relationships require both partners to be vulnerable, honest, and empathetic, not just one partner trying to control or exploit the other. If emotional manipulation is present, it is a red flag that the relationship may not be built on a foundation of mutual respect and care. One of the most telling behaviors of a man who is using a woman is the pattern of inconsistent effort. Relationships are built on the foundation of mutual respect, shared effort, and investment in each other's well-being. When a man is genuinely committed, he continuously shows up, not only when it's easy or convenient, but especially when it's hard or requires sacrifice. However, when his intentions are not rooted in genuine care, but rather in using the woman for his own benefit, his effort will often feel sporadic, unpredictable, and ultimately self-serving. In the early stages of a relationship, everything may seem perfect. He may be attentive, affectionate, and put in a great deal of effort to make the woman feel special. He may send thoughtful messages, make plans, and invest time in getting to know her. However, as time goes on, you might notice a shift. The messages become less frequent, the plans become less thoughtful, and the effort starts to feel like it's only happening when he needs something from her. This shift can be subtle, and at first the woman might rationalize it by telling herself that life has gotten busy or that things will get back to normal soon. However, these shifts, when examined over time, reveal a pattern of inconsistency. A man who is using a woman will only invest effort when he stands to gain something. For example, if he is trying to get something from her, whether it's emotional validation, physical intimacy, or support in a difficult time, he will show up with a great deal of effort. He'll make grand gestures, shower her with attention, and seem fully invested. But once he has what he wants or the immediate need is met, his level of involvement drops. He may not be present for her when she needs emotional support, when she's going through a tough time, or when she is looking for consistency in the relationship. Instead, he might become distant, nonchalant, or even dismissive. The inconsistency in effort can create confusion and emotional turmoil for the woman. She might find herself constantly questioning what went wrong, wondering whether she's asking for too much, or trying to figure out how to restore the relationship to its earlier state. However, the issue often lies in the inconsistency itself. A healthy relationship thrives on reciprocity. Both partners put in the effort to maintain the connection, to nurture it, and to support each other. When one partner, however, is only present when it's convenient or beneficial to them, it creates a lopsided dynamic where the woman is left giving more than she receives. This inconsistency can also show up in communication. At first, there may be long, meaningful conversations, heartfelt texts, and shared moments of connection. Over time, however, the communication becomes sparse and unbalanced. His responses may become shorter, less thoughtful, or delayed, while she continues to invest in the relationship by initiating contact or making an effort to keep the lines of communication open. This imbalance can leave her feeling ignored, undervalued, and emotionally drained. What's more, she may begin to internalize his behavior, believing that the lack of effort is somehow her fault or that she's not worthy of his attention. In addition to emotional inconsistency, there may also be an inconsistency in how he prioritizes the relationship. In moments when he needs something of favor, validation, or attention, he will make the relationship a priority. But when his needs are met or when his attention shifts to something or someone else, he will put minimal effort into maintaining the connection. He might cancel plans without explanation, become unavailable without reason, or act as though his absence doesn't matter. This lack of regard for the relationship during these times creates a sense of emotional whiplash where the woman feels constantly pulled between moments of closeness and disconnection. What's particularly damaging about inconsistent effort is the emotional roller coaster it creates. The woman might feel like she's riding highs and lows where the moments of closeness feel euphoric and the moments of distance are disorienting. This unpredictability erodes trust and creates an unhealthy attachment, as she might begin to rely on the small bursts of effort to keep her emotionally tethered to him. She might hold on to the hope that the relationship will return to its good days, but the cycle of inconsistency often continues, leading her to feel uncertain about the future and anxious about her place in his life. This behavior also has the potential to prevent growth in the relationship. Relationships require continuous effort from both parties to evolve, to deepen, and to face challenges together. If only one person is contributing effort sporadically, it leaves the other partner feeling unsupported and isolated, preventing the relationship from maturing into something truly fulfilling. The woman may become exhausted, feeling like she's constantly giving while receiving little in return. She might start questioning her own worth and whether she's settling for less than she deserves. Inconsistent effort is a red flag that shouldn't be ignored. It's crucial to recognize that love and genuine commitment are not conditional on need or convenience. Healthy relationships are marked by a steady, reliable effort from both partners to nurture the connection, to face challenges together, and to support one another through thick and thin. If you find yourself in a situation where your efforts are not being reciprocated consistently, it's important to take a step back and evaluate the relationship's true dynamics. You deserve a partner who shows up for you, not just when it's convenient, but at all times through the ups and the downs with consistent love, effort, and care. Vulnerability is often seen as the essence of true connection in any relationship. It's the act of showing your authentic self, letting down walls, and sharing the parts of you that are most raw and personal. It requires courage and trust, allowing you to connect on a deeper, more meaningful level with another person. In healthy relationships, both partners are willing to be vulnerable with each other, whether that means expressing fears, past hurts, dreams for the future, or simply revealing the imperfections that make each individual unique. It's through vulnerability that emotional intimacy flourishes and relationships become stronger and more resilient. However, when a man is using a woman, vulnerability is often something he avoids at all costs. Instead of being open and emotionally available, he will keep his true self hidden behind a carefully crafted mask of indifference, emotional distance, or even false bravado. This avoidance of vulnerability isn't a reflection of a desire for privacy. Rather, it's a strategic way to protect himself from the emotional transparency that is required to build genuine trust and connection. A man who is using a woman will often keep conversations superficial, sidestepping any topic that requires emotional depth or self-reflection. He may deflect personal questions or avoid discussing his feelings, his past, or anything that could expose his vulnerabilities. This creates a barrier between him and his partner, making it difficult for the woman to truly know who he is beneath the surface. The more he avoids showing his true self, the more the woman may be left feeling like she's in a relationship with a stranger, someone who is hiding behind an impenetrable wall. This avoidance of vulnerability isn't just about withholding personal information, it's also about emotional withholding. A man who is using a woman may not offer emotional support when she needs it. He may listen to her concerns or struggles without offering empathy or comfort, instead offering only surface-level responses. If she opens up about her fears, dreams, or vulnerabilities, he may brush them off, change the subject, or respond with indifference, effectively shutting her down. This behavior reinforces a power dynamic where she is expected to reveal her inner self while he remains closed off, never sharing the things that might make him seem imperfect or in need of support. Moreover, the avoidance of vulnerability often manifests in his reluctance to discuss the future of the relationship. When things are going well, he may seem carefree, even nonchalant about commitment or long-term plans. He might deflect serious conversations about where the relationship is heading or what his intentions are. When pressed, he might offer vague answers like, "We'll see how things go," or "I'm not sure about anything right now." This lack of clarity can leave the woman feeling unsettled and unsure of where she stands, while he maintains control by keeping her emotionally uncertain. His inability or unwillingness to discuss the future prevents any sense of stability from forming, leaving her to wonder if the relationship is even built on anything more than temporary convenience. In many cases, a man who avoids vulnerability may use this tactic as a form of emotional defense. He's afraid of being hurt, rejected, or exposed. His inability to open up may stem from past wounds, emotional scars, or deep-rooted fears. However, this avoidance of vulnerability is not about protecting himself out of a desire for self-preservation. It's a way of maintaining power in the relationship. By keeping his emotions at a distance, he can ensure that his needs are met without ever having to fully invest or expose himself in return. Vulnerability means risk that the woman may see him as imperfect, may question his worth, or, worse yet, may no longer be as emotionally invested. For someone who is using another person, that risk is something to be avoided at all costs. This fear of vulnerability can also result in emotional inconsistency. He may act warm and affectionate at times, creating moments of emotional closeness, but when it comes time to truly open up, to be honest about his feelings, or to share any emotional challenges, he will retreat. He may hide behind distractions, work, hobbies, or social events instead of addressing the emotional complexities of the relationship. This retreat leaves the woman feeling emotionally isolated, as though she is giving more than she's receiving, and it leaves her questioning why he can't be open or vulnerable with her when she so desperately desires emotional connection and authenticity. Furthermore, the avoidance of vulnerability often leads to a lack of true intimacy. Intimacy is not just about physical closeness, it's about emotional and psychological closeness too. When a man is using a woman, the physical intimacy may be there, but the emotional intimacy will be missing. Without the willingness to be vulnerable and share intimate thoughts and feelings, the relationship remains hollow and transactional. The woman may feel like she's in a relationship with a partner who doesn't truly see or understand her, and vice versa. The depth of connection that comes from mutual vulnerability is simply not present, leaving both partners feeling emotionally unsatisfied. The impact of this emotional distance can be devastating. It can lead to feelings of frustration, confusion, and loneliness. The woman may begin to question why she is putting in so much effort trying to emotionally invest while he remains distant and closed off. She may feel that no matter how much she gives, she can never truly get through to him, and as a result, she may begin to doubt her own worth or ability to connect. She might also start questioning whether he truly cares about her, or whether he is simply using her for his own needs, with no intention of genuinely committing to the relationship. In relationships, vulnerability is the foundation of trust. It's the willingness to be open, to share one's fears, desires, and imperfections, knowing that the other person will not judge, abandon, or manipulate those feelings. If a man is consistently avoiding vulnerability, it's a clear indication that he may not be invested in the relationship in a healthy, authentic way. A relationship built on one-sided emotional withholding can never thrive. It will always remain unbalanced, leaving the woman to wonder whether she's truly being seen, valued, and loved for who she is. Accountability is one of the most vital elements of a healthy relationship. It means taking responsibility for one's actions, acknowledging the impact those actions have on others, and making an effort to correct mistakes or make amends when needed. In a committed partnership, both individuals hold themselves accountable for the well-being of the relationship and for the emotional health of the other person. Accountability fosters trust, mutual respect, and growth, helping the relationship evolve and deepen over time. It's about owning your behavior, being transparent, and showing the maturity and emotional intelligence necessary to maintain a strong, equal partnership.